Ladies and gentlemen, there is a secret most of us carry deep within, something we try to ignore, delay, and even deny. That truth is, we are all going to die, yet most people live as if they are immortal, postponing dreams, delaying love, numbing pain, and wasting time. But what if I told you that the answer to your life's urgency, your meaning, and your purpose is already in your palm? Now, I am not here to convince you of fortune telling or palmistry. I'm here to help you face what you've been avoiding, the finite truth of your existence. Shaolin master Shi Heng Yi once said, "Don't fear death, fear the unlived life." This message isn't meant to scare you, it's meant to wake you up. Look at your hands, the lines are different for everyone. Some say they reveal how long you'll live, but whether or not that's true is not the point. The real message is, every moment slipping through your fingers is a reminder. You don't have forever. The palm of your hand isn't a prophecy, it's a symbol. A mirror, a warning, a teacher. What you hold in your hand is not just skin and lines. It is your responsibility to live fully, because time, my friend, is sleeping right now. Every human being, no matter their background, wealth, education, or beliefs, shares one unchangeable truth: death is inevitable. It is the most democratic of all experiences. It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't negotiate. It doesn't care if you're ready. It comes for kings and beggars alike. And yet, despite its certainty, most of us live as if it doesn't apply to us. We live as if we're eternal. We put off dreams. We delay apologies. We ignore the pull of our hearts. We act like time is something we can store on a shelf and come back to later, when the truth is, every day is a withdrawal from the limited balance we were given the moment we were born. The clock doesn't wait. It doesn't pause for your fear, your hesitation, or your indecision. Every tick, every breath, every passing moment is taking you closer to the end, and still, many people live their days as if they have unlimited time. This illusion of permanence is dangerous. It tricks you into thinking you can keep procrastinating your purpose. It whispers that you have plenty of time to change, to grow, to love, to forgive, but then life proves otherwise. A sudden illness, a lost friend, an unexpected goodbye. These events jolt us out of our denial. They remind us, you never know how close you are to the edge. So many people are sleepwalking through life, checking their phones more than they check in with themselves. They scroll, consume, compare, and complain, never realizing that this very moment is the only one guaranteed. And when they finally look up, years have passed, opportunities are gone, people have moved on or passed away, and all they're left with is regret. The truth is, you don't have time to waste. Every minute you spend worrying about what others think, every hour lost to overthinking, every day given to fear is a piece of your life you'll never get back. You have no idea how much time you've been given, but you do know it's running out. That fact alone should ignite something inside you, urgency, clarity, presence, because death is certain, time is not. Throughout history, many cultures have turned to the human palm in search of meaning. Ancient traditions from India, China, and Greece believed that the lines on your hand told the story of your life, how long you would live, what kind of person you were, what fate awaited you. But whether or not those claims hold truth is not the point. The real power lies not in the prediction, but in the perception. When you look at your palm, you're not gazing at a roadmap of your future. You're looking at a mirror of your present. That hand, those lines, that flesh, they represent more than a possible death date. They represent every decision, every possibility, every action you still can take. They represent life's fragility and the responsibility that comes with it. Your palm is a reminder, not a fortune. It's a symbol of how much you hold and how much can slip through your fingers. The creases and lines, they didn't appear by accident. They came from motion, from living, from gripping, from releasing. They are living evidence of the life you've lived up to this moment. and a warning that what you don't grip tightly enough may disappear. Think about what you use your hands for every day. You hold your loved ones, you feed yourself, you work, create, write, build, push, pull, lift, comfort, and protect, all with your hands. So when you open your palm and stare at it, it's not just a surface of skin. It's a canvas of your human power, your potential, your choices, and the deeper truth is this: you are holding your life right now, in the palm of your hand, but how many of us actually live that way? How many of us look at our hands and feel the weight of their purpose? Too often, we move through life unconscious of the power we carry. We give it away. We scroll instead of sculpting. We text instead of touching. We chase distractions instead of crafting our destiny. We forget that the same hand that can waste time is also the hand that can create meaning. So when someone says, "Check the death time in your palm," don't take it literally. Instead, take it as an invitation to wake up. Let your palm be a metaphor, a living signal from your own body that time is passing, that life is fragile, that your destiny is not in the stars or in some ancient code, but in your daily actions. The truth isn't in the lines of your palm, it's in how you use your hands every single day. Shi Heng Yi, a respected master of the Shaolin tradition, doesn't speak to entertain or to impress. He speaks with the weight of wisdom earned through discipline, silence, and centuries of spiritual legacy. His words are not designed to be comfortable, they are designed to awaken something buried deep within you. His message strikes at the very core of human distraction. You are alive, but are you truly living? When Shi Heng Yi talks about death, he's not trying to scare people. He's trying to shake them out of sleep, because the modern world has lulled us into a state of numbness. We chase convenience. We seek validation. We drown in noise. Most people are not awake. They are functioning on autopilot. They follow routines without reflection. They fill time without purpose. They breathe, but they don't feel. They exist, but they don't live. Shi Heng Yi reminds us that to live mindfully, you must confront mortality. That doesn't mean becoming morbid or obsessed with death. It means becoming intensely aware that every moment you experience is one less on your timeline. When you realize that your time is limited, you begin to shed the illusions that steal your attention. You stop wasting energy on petty arguments, shallow ambitions, or things that don't serve your soul. His teachings draw on ancient Shaolin principles: awareness, balance, inner discipline, stillness, and direct action. In his message, death is not an enemy, it is a teacher, a powerful ally that clarifies what truly matters. It whispers to you in every quiet moment: don't delay, don't pretend you have forever, do not wait for the perfect time. You are dying a little each day, so choose now to become fully alive. In one of his most striking reflections, Shi Heng Yi explains that people often pursue physical strength or knowledge, but forget the most important training of all: training the mind to live in truth. And the truth is, your life will end. You cannot escape that fact. You cannot negotiate with it, but you can let that truth guide your actions, your words, and your relationships. His voice is calm but piercing, because he speaks not just as a monk, but as a human who has studied the deepest fears of the soul. His message is not wrapped in sugar, it's wrapped in stillness, and if you're willing to listen, not just with your ears, but with your life, you will feel it, that jolt, that pull, that awakening. It will make you uncomfortable. That's the point, because real transformation never comes from comfort. It comes when you finally look death in the eye and say, "I hear you, and I will not waste my life." One of the greatest illusions in life is the belief that someone else is responsible for the way your life turns out. We blame our past, our parents, our culture, our circumstances. We point fingers at systems, opportunities missed, or people who let us down. But the truth that many refuse to face is this: your life is your responsibility. and you are holding it, quite literally, in your own hands. Look at your palms again, look closely. Those are not just lines of fate, they are marks of effort. Every scar, every callus, every wrinkle tells a story. Those hands have built, broken, healed, held, pushed, pulled, and created. And they still carry power. They are instruments of choice, not fate. The question is, how are you using them? Too often, we live as victims of our own story. We wait for someone to rescue us, for something outside of us to validate us, or for the perfect moment to take action. But life doesn't respond to waiting. It responds to movement, and your hands are tools of that movement. You write your future with your actions. You sculpt your character through your decisions, and every single day, whether consciously or not, you are shaping your destiny. Shi Heng Yi teaches that awareness must be followed by ownership. It's not enough to wake up. You must also take charge. You can't claim to want a meaningful life if you keep handing over the reins to fear, laziness, or excuses. If you want peace, you must work for it. If you want greatness, you must earn it. If you want transformation, you must create it. And the creation happens through your hands, your will, your discipline. Think about what your hands have touched today. Were they used to build or destroy? Did they give or take? Did they create something beautiful? Or did they spend the day idle, scrolling, numbing, reacting instead of responding? Every action, no matter how small, is a vote for the person you are becoming. The tragedy is not in having little time. The tragedy is in using that time without intention. No one can live your life for you. No one else can heal what you refuse to confront. No one can force you to rise if you choose to stay down. You may not control every situation, but you do control how you respond. You control what you build, what you release, what you choose to hold onto, and what you finally let go of. And that control begins with realizing that your hands are not empty. They are full of potential. The lines in your palm don't dictate your future. Your actions do. Your focus does. Your discipline does. The hand you're staring at, it's holding your story, and you, and only you, are the author. Most people believe they are afraid of death. They avoid the topic, push it out of conversations, and pretend it's far off in the distance. They live in denial, creating bubbles of distraction, work, entertainment, busyness, just to keep from feeling that quiet, uncomfortable truth. But the deeper truth is this: what people really fear isn't death itself, it's dying without having truly lived. The fear that haunts us late at night, in the stillness when the world is quiet and there's no one left to impress, is not the fear of taking our final breath. It's the fear that when that moment comes, we will look back and realize we never sang the song inside us. That we didn't pursue the dream, didn't speak our truth, didn't risk vulnerability, didn't break the mold, didn't love fully, didn't show up for ourselves or for others. You see, death is a fact, but regret is a choice. And regret is the ghost that follows people longer than any fear of death. You may be able to avoid thinking about dying, but you cannot outrun the aching emptiness of a life unlived, the dreams you buried because of doubt, the words you never said out of fear, the paths you didn't take because they were too uncertain. All of these accumulate, and when the clock runs out, they don't disappear. They echo. When Shi Heng Yi speaks of confronting death, he's not asking you to be grim. He's asking you to get real. He knows that once you accept the inevitability of your end, your priorities begin to shift. You stop wasting energy on the superficial. You stop hiding behind your wounds and start healing. You begin to pursue what actually matters, because you understand time is a currency that runs out whether you use it or not. People don't cry on their deathbeds because life ended. They cry because of the things they didn't do while they had the chance. They remember the what-ifs, the I wish I hads, the moments they were too afraid to say yes or too stubborn to say sorry. The greatest pain is not found in the end of life, but in the absence of life within all the years they were given. And this is why the fear of death is just a reflection of something much deeper, unlived potential. You're not afraid of dying. You're afraid of dying before you ever fully woke up, before you ever discovered who you truly are beneath the roles, the labels, the conditioning. You're afraid of leaving this world before the world ever got to feel the real you. So don't let your fear of death paralyze you. Let it push you. Let it challenge you. Let it strip away the false comforts and call you into action. Because if there's one thing more terrifying than death, it's realizing at the end that you never really lived at all. There's something powerful that happens the moment you truly accept that your time on this earth is limited. Your life comes into sharp focus. The noise begins to fade. The endless distractions that once seemed so urgent begin to lose their grip. The opinions of others, the chase for approval, the obsession with perfection, all of it starts to fall away. What rises in its place is something far more powerful: clarity. You begin to see your life not as an infinite stretch of time, but as a series of choices and moments that will either lead to fulfillment or regret. The realization that the clock is ticking doesn't need to be frightening. In fact, it can be liberating, because when you fully understand that you don't have forever, you stop waiting for the right time. You stop postponing the things your heart already knows you need to do. Think about it. How many times have you told yourself, "I'll start tomorrow, I'll try later, it's not the perfect moment yet"? But here's the truth: waiting is a luxury for those who believe they have time. Those who understand the urgency of life stop waiting and start acting. They take imperfect steps. They speak when their voice shakes. They leap even when fear is in their bones, because they know the most dangerous phrase is, "I'll do it someday." Urgency doesn't make you reckless. It makes you real. It brings your true values to the surface. When you act with urgency, you stop doing things for appearance and start doing things from intention. You say no to things that drain you. You stop chasing validation and start seeking meaning. You stop wasting time on toxic relationships, mindless distractions, and shallow goals. You ask, if I only had 1 year left, would this still matter? And if the answer is no, you let it go. But urgency does something else too. It gives you courage, not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act in spite of it. Because when you realize how short life really is, fear starts to shrink. You're no longer afraid to fail, because you know what's worse than failure is not trying at all. You're no longer afraid to speak up, because silence can cost you more than rejection ever will. You're no longer afraid of change, because staying stuck becomes the bigger risk. Shi Heng Yi teaches that time is one of our most sacred teachers. It reveals who we really are, and urgency is its greatest lesson. When you live with a sense of urgency, you begin to align your actions with your truth. You stop being pulled in 1,000 directions and begin to move with deliberate focus. You become decisive, disciplined, brave. You understand that every moment is an opportunity to either drift further away from your purpose or closer to it. And while the world around you may continue to rush, distract, and numb, you begin to live with presence, because when you know time is limited, you don't waste it, you honor it, you treat your minutes like gold. You protect your peace like a treasure. You love like it might be your last day to say, "I love you." And you work like your mission truly matters, because it does. One of the most tragic patterns of human behavior is waiting. Waiting until life forces you to change. Waiting until a crisis, a loss, a breakdown, or a diagnosis to finally pay attention to what truly matters. It's not that people don't know what's important, it's that they postpone the pursuit of it. They delay meaning, joy, presence, truth. They put off healing. They postpone growth. They tell themselves, "One day I'll get to it." But what if that day never comes? This tendency to wait until pain pushes us is deeply human, but it is also deeply dangerous. We don't appreciate our health until it's failing. We don't value our time until it's running out. We don't cherish our relationships until they are strained or lost. We don't awaken to the value of life until death knocks too close. But here's the truth that Shi Heng Yi echoes in his message. You don't need a tragedy to wake up. You don't need to lose everything to finally see clearly. You can choose awareness right now. Living awake means no longer sleepwalking through your routine. It means no longer numbing your emotions with distractions. It means being fully present in your daily life, in the simplest moments, drinking your tea without scrolling, listening to someone without interrupting, taking a breath and noticing you are here now. Most people are waiting for a future version of themselves to show up and finally start living. But if you keep waiting for perfect conditions, you'll wait your whole life. There is a belief that clarity and peace will come after the storm, after the struggle, after the breakthrough. But what if it's the other way around? What if peace and purpose come when you decide to stop waiting? When you wake up, not physically, but spiritually and emotionally, when you stop outsourcing your fulfillment to the future and start cultivating it with what you already have. Shi Heng Yi teaches that the greatest battle is not fought with others, it is fought within. The battle to stay awake, to remain conscious, to resist the lull of routine, to reject the easy life of comfort and passivity. It's easier to stay numb, it's easier to stay asleep, but nothing grows in numbness. Nothing transforms in comfort. Awakening requires effort, it requires mindfulness, it requires presence, and it requires the courage to stop waiting for life to shake you, and instead shake yourself. When you live awake, you stop needing extreme situations to teach you. You stop needing loss to teach you gratitude. You stop needing death to teach you how to live. You begin to learn from stillness instead of suffering. You begin to evolve through intention instead of pain. That is the true power of awakening. It puts your growth in your hands instead of leaving it in fates. People think that one day they'll be inspired enough to change. But inspiration is not something you wait for. It's something you choose. And that choice is available right now. You don't need a final warning. You don't need a near-death experience. You just need the will to see clearly and to act on what you see. So now I ask you, what are you really waiting for? You've looked at your palm, not to find the time of your death, but to remember that your life is in your hands. You face the truth that most people fear, that time is not promised, that comfort is a trap, and that regret is more painful than failure. You've been reminded that death is not the enemy, wasting your life is. Shi Heng Yi's message is not meant to scare you, it's meant to free you, to strip away the illusions, to return you to the core truth. You are alive now, and that is your greatest gift. You still have strength in your hands. You still have breath in your lungs. You still have a story to tell, a purpose to live, a light to ignite. But only if you stop waiting and start living. Let today be the day you stop sleepwalking through your existence. Let today be the day you stop fearing death and start fearing never waking up. Because once you truly awaken, you'll stop asking how long you have left and start asking how deeply you can live right now. So don't wait to check the lines in your palm. Start using your hands to shape the life you were born to live and live it, fully, fiercely, and awake. And let me know if you'd like a version optimized for video voiceover, social media, or presentation slides.